I'm going to show you how to get on-ball steals in NBA 2K26 more frequently, and I even used NBA 2K Labs data to help me do it, but not in the way that you might think. You see, they put out a video earlier today where they mentioned that if you have gold glove versus a ball handle with gold unpluckable, and they lose all of their adrenaline, and you have all of your adrenaline as a defensive player, and you have a maxed out steal rating, and you go for the pluck steal, you can have as high as a 13% success rating in going for pluck steals. That is a standstill dribbler, and that's you, the defender, being on the ball side, spamming square, or just tapping square. Either way, 13% success was the highest that they had calculated, and they said it's nearly zero if the ball handler has all their adrenaline. Now, that being said, I knew that these numbers were too low for any competitive setting, because if you've played in the comp scene, there are people who are effectively getting blitz steals and lane steals and absolutely having high steal games. I'm one of them. With that being said, I knew that this must be the human element, because of course they do their tests and they isolate the variables, and I've been having success in real game situations. Now, how am I doing this? I will tell you how. You, first of all, have to think of blitz steals as the same way you would at greening a jump shot. You have to be perfect, and you have to be so perfect. It's not just like the way you have to just screen your tempo shooting with greening a shot, or you just have to green your timing with the square button. No, this is, you have to have your jersey number, that is the center of your chest. You have to launch that part of your body full speed at the shoulder of their body that has the ball on that side. So like if they have the ball in their right hand, you launch your chest at their right shoulder. You have to launch your body perfectly in sync with when they go to speed boost to that side, which means you can't test this in a lab. You'll never be able to test this in a street ball game or anything of that nature. You have to read somebody's tendencies, and then you have to go just take the ball from them. If you read their tendencies, you square up with them. Do not hold L2. You hold R2. You tap square. You launch your body through the ball, but here's the kicker. You can't just get the ball. If you just get the ball, you'll whiff. Here's the second part. You cannot be on their hip to start the play. You will get put behind them, and then they will be open for the shot. Here's the third part. You guys already know if they do an explosive behind the back move and you get a bump, the ball's coming out. I'm not including that data. You guys already probably know that if they're holding L2 in the post and they're backing up, they're walking backwards, to stop L2 cheeses, they put it in the game that ball's coming out a lot of times. You guys already know that. I'm not including that. And you guys also know that sometimes you'll just randomly lose the ball if you do an explosive crossover, explosive behind the back, explosive anything, and you get bumped anywhere. Sometimes you just lose the ball. I'm not counting that either. I'm specifically talking about when you get it by pressing the square button. Okay, now that we have an understanding there, this steal right here, this where you're reaching on ball, this has less than a 13% make. Even honestly, with no adrenaline, this, you're not gonna get this ever. But this is not how 2K wants you to get steals this year. That's not at all, right? If you're in the lane, you want to let go of L2. You want to hold R2 and square. I'm gonna play these clips for you. You wanna hold R2 and square, and you wanna be perfectly in the lane. The lane is defined as in between where the passer is and the receiver is. If you are in between those two people, and depending on the flight path of the ball, you either want to be closer to the passer or closer to the receiver. It just depends on the flight path of the ball and how they throw it and their ratings. You will get the steal a lot by holding R2 and square. Now, on ball steals, now this is different. With this method, and I've been getting a lot of on ball steals lately, two things have to be true, and they're very, very difficult to get. And I need you guys to understand, you have to be perfect. Perfect, when I say that word, I just mean the same way when you green a jump shot, you have to have a perfect timing to green it. And if you don't have a perfect timing, you're gonna miss it. And that is within a couple milliseconds. Obviously, there's a millisecond range. I don't know if it's 10, 15, 20, it's different for every jump shot, obviously, but you have to be within a certain range of perfection. Same thing with these steals. The one that we're gonna be focusing on today and we're gonna be loading up in this 1v1 to try it. And this is very hard to replicate, so we're gonna try to get a clip here of it. Is if you, and I have controller cam here, if you're holding R2 and you launch yourself perfectly at the side, right when they go to burst out, and that's a miss right there, but if you launch yourself perfectly right when they go to burst out, you can get a bump steal. And it is a bump steal. It's not a pluck, and it's not bumping them and they lose the ball. It is a bump steal. There is a difference between all three of those. Well, roughly how to get there. Oh, that's it. That's the one. That's the one. But I feel if I do it again, yeah, I got it. See, look, rapid succession. We just got 2 in a row. So what we're showing is that it can't be on standstill. It has to be on a burst of some kind. If the ball handler does any type of burst, if you beat him and fully block his shoulder while at the same time reaching with R2, no L2, you can pop the ball out in rapid succession. You will get steals if you fail to stop the ball handler's motion. If you fail to stop the ball handler's motion, you're gonna get reach-ins, or you're gonna whiff and the ball handler's gonna be wide open. So it's very risky. Right there, that's a whiff. It feels like I should have gotten it. That's a tie. That's a tie right there. That's a whiff, showing the difference. That's a reach, because you beat me across my body, so I reached across your body. That's it. No adrenaline lost on my side. That's mine. I read your tendency. I squared up with L2, but then I let go of it and I rushed in. So you can square your body with L2, but you have to let it go when you go for the reach. That's it. It's just perfection. They just want you to be perfect. It's so frustrating. We're gonna wrap it right there. Look, y'all. I'm not saying this is I have it fully nailed down. I know everything about this, but all I'm trying to tell you is I've been playing this game nonstop since it came out. I'm averaging 110 in the rec and the proving grounds. My team was top 5 in the world in Pro-Am in the summit as of just a day ago. We stopped playing, we came back and played again today. We're top 35, and I'm like, I was top 6 in scoring in the world. Now I'm like top 30 somewhere. It'll probably be less when this video drops. But I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just out here talking just to talk. I'm not saying anything just because I want to at some other big creators. And I'm not saying that someone is being intentionally misleading or trying to do something wrong in the community. All I'm trying to say is don't blindly follow just the data. And I mean that to say, like, don't come up with a conclusion of like, oh, I see a lot of people in the comments saying steal doesn't matter. Oh, I'm gonna make my build with no steal. And they honestly believe if they come out in a comp environment that if they have no steal, they're gonna be better off than if they do have steal. And that's ridiculous. I don't let any of my players come out without steal onto my team. I'll never let any one of my players come out in the Pro-Am to go play a competitive game without steal. That's other than maybe the center, and even him, sometimes it helps, sometimes. If you like this video, I work really hard at this stuff. Please subscribe, leave a comment of what you want to see in future videos. Does what I say make sense? Does this make sense of what I'm talking about in this video?